Armstrong Redwoods State Natural Reserve is located in Sonoma County, California, just north of Guerneville, and is a great way to experience the redwoods for yourself without the crowds of Muir Woods and some other places closer to San Francisco. It's about a 1-hour drive from the Bay Area and takes you through Santa Rosa towards the Russian River Valley and Guerneville. The Armstrong Redwoods State Reserve protects about 805 acres of primarily coast redwoods with some Douglas firs and other trees mixed in as well. The drive takes you through a lot of beautiful forested and rural areas as well as the center of Guerneville, and the road is usually surrounded by coast redwoods at most times, which is really cool to see. The weather in the reserve is usually fairly cool and wet, and it actually receives about 55 inches of rain per year, which is enough to make it qualify as a temperate rainforest. The place is named after Colonel James Armstrong, who set aside the area in the 1870s as a natural park and botanical garden, and it was purchased by the County of Sonoma in 1917. The grove was operated by Sonoma County until 1934, until it was taken over by the state and opened to the public in 1936. And it has become both a natural reserve and a California state park since 1964, when a greater understanding of its significance made it necessary to be more protective of the reserve. The rest of the drive is definitely awesome for views and photo opportunities after passing through Guerneville, as you'll get some great views of tree-covered mountains and coast redwoods along the side. After leaving Guerneville, there shouldn't be that much driving left, as the Armstrong Redwoods are only about a few miles north of Guerneville. This is the Armstrong Redwoods State Natural Reserve. There's a lot of parking near the visitor center right at the entrance, and this should be easy to get as long as you're here early enough in the morning, but if it's full, there's still more space on the other side of the park. I started at the park entrance and walked most of the trails all the way to the Bullfrog Pond campground, including the Pioneer Trail and a few others. You can also walk along the Armstrong Woods Road for a great view of the forest. The Pioneer Trail is where I started, and it takes you through some of the areas with the more notable trees in the park, such as the Parson Jones tree. The trails are usually nicely cool and shaded and are really peaceful and quiet as you go through the forest. The area along the sides of the Pioneer Trail has some old-growth redwoods and some second-growth redwoods with a couple Douglas firs mixed in here and there. The Pioneer Trail is a place where you can get some amazing photo opportunities of all the trees above just by looking up from anywhere along the trail. Many of these trees are still upwards of 200 feet tall, even though they don't have official names in the park. This whole reserve is usually not crowded, especially earlier in the morning, and it's one of the quietest and most peaceful places I've ever been. There's a break in the Pioneer Trail right near the Parson Jones tree, which is officially the tallest known tree in the park at 310 feet. It has a diameter of 13.8 feet and is estimated to be about 1,300 years old, which is amazing to see in person. The trail does continue for about another 0.5 miles towards the Armstrong tree through a beautiful area where the ground is almost completely covered in redwood sorrel. This area has a lot of densely packed second growth younger redwoods. This section of the Pioneer Trail, as well as on the Armstrong Woods Road, also makes for some more amazing photo opportunities. Even though a wildfire did pass through this area 2 to 3 years ago, there's very little damage remaining except that you can see a few charred trees, a few fallen trees, and a few areas where the trail fence was replaced. That does make for some cool areas where you can see the root systems of fallen trees. Further up the trail, you'll come to what's actually considered a natural mystery in this area, which is called the Burbank Circle. It's not a fairy ring, which is created when an older redwood dies and new trees grow up from the roots surrounding the stump, but it could be created from successive generations of fairy rings. It's actually a mystery because no roots of a large tree can be found and there's no stump to be found either, but all they really know is that it was a natural cleared area since it wasn't logged either. On the ground in most parts of the forest under the trees is this redwood sorrel, which actually looks very similar to clovers, but stays closed in the direct sunlight and is open in the shade only. This is another area that, although there aren't any official notable trees, it's a great area to see some more old growth and second growth redwoods and just look at the amazing height of these trees. It was sunny when I was there, but if you come in the morning, you'll likely see some fog, which is what keeps these redwood trees alive and moist in the summer. There are a lot of dried creeks located throughout the forest, which are usually dry during the summer, as you can see, but if you come during the winter or spring months when the rainy season is, they will definitely be flowing with water. So that's the end of my part 1 video on the Armstrong Redwoods, and I'll be back soon for part 2. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, remember to like the video and please subscribe for more if you like seeing my videos.